Hi, Dr. Kate here, checking in. Woo, what a day. Hasn't it felt like such a shift in the energy just since the weekend? It feels like there's more energy, there's more space to think clearly. At least that's how I'm feeling. Well, so I wanted to talk today about how do we actually know and check in and identify what we truly want, right? In our businesses, in our life. This whole idea of being able to step back and redefine, reassess, what does success, prosperity, abundance, fulfillment, joy, what does that look like for each of us? We're all unique beings. Well, the hardest part is we've got to be able to step back and give ourselves permission to do that. And I think in the way that we can get so busy and life is sort of running us and we're going from one thing to the next, and especially if we are running our own businesses, it's like we're on the treadmill. And we feel like, how do we get off the treadmill so we can step back and look at the treadmill and decide, is this the hamster wheel I want to be on? Or do I want it to look different? Do I need it to look different? And that's what I'm super interested and curious about, because that is something that I have always done for some reason. I've been able to always step back and see how my business is evolving and growing and see if it's still a fit, and we're ever changing, right? So I've had little tiny kids as a single mom. Now I have an 18 and a 19-year-old. And so I just naturally have learned to listen to those cycles and those shifts and changes so that I can give myself permission to keep seeing what's next. And not everybody needs it to constantly change up. I just happen to be that person who I just can't help myself. I think it's because I'm like a quadruple Sagittarian or something astrologically. Like I can't not be looking at the horizon and seeing what I want to be involved in so that I can be of greater service, continue growing and reach out and serve people. And that's just the way I am. But even if you're not that way and you're just running your business a certain way, or your life has kind of gotten nice and comfy, and is it falling into a comfort zone that perhaps is no longer really serving you? Is there some way that you haven't been able to get that perspective to see, is there another way? Right? That's the big question, and I'm the big pro yes answer on that. I think there's always different models of how we could be living that we haven't even discovered yet. That's what I'm about. Because I feel like, right, that's part of the change that's happening now. We've had certain models of success growing up in our families. We've had models of what is making it mean. And we're all opening up that question now. And that's what's so exciting about this time, is that we really do get to step back and say, what is true for me? I might have my own unique ideas and ways that are really going to be satisfying, feel very purposeful and meaningful to me, that are completely different than the gal next to me and how she's running and living her life. So I feel like the first step, right, is to be able to figure out how we can be aware that somehow we're stuck in some way on that hamster wheel and we need to take a pause. And that pause doesn't mean we have to leave our home. I mean, it's always nice to get a little vacation, right? But it can just be stepping back and giving permission to step back in some way and notice how you feel in your body. Notice how you're aware of fatigue or exhaustion. Notice what you see when you look at your schedule for the week. This awareness piece that we haven't ever really been taught to cultivate is a big way that I work with my clients to notice and get real and more authentic about what's going on for them that they're not even aware of, right? Like we can really talk ourselves into life is going perfectly fine until we like get off the hamster wheel for a minute. And suddenly it's like, oh, I'm actually like really sad about something, or I'm really needing this piece to shift, or I'm really needing to communicate to my partner about such and such, right? We have a way, I think, as women, because we're amazing multitaskers, like amazing, right? We're like super women. And that's kind of a disadvantage when it means we got to slow down and step off the track and really be present with ourselves. So the awareness piece is part of how we even realize that that's something that could be good for us, right? So how we give ourselves just that permission to consider that. And then from there is like, how real and honest are we willing to be with ourselves? And that's tricky too, right? Because we all have a certain level of kind of putting on a certain level of blinders to kind of make life work and say this is all fine. And it doesn't mean we want to rock every boat, but it does mean, how do we at least get real about where we are and what we need? Because let's be real and true about this, ladies. If we're not really being authentically honest with ourselves, how can we really feel fulfilled and alive and our joyous true selves in our relationships, in our business, in our life? We can't. And sometimes, again, we don't always know we're not being fully honest with ourselves, but that's a piece that I like to explore with people. I do it with myself regularly. Where have I put on some little blinders and pretended all is fine and I'm in my comfort zone and everything's peachy? And how do I step back and say, is that true? Or is there something that you're not being real about, Kate? Is there something you need to really step back and look at and feel and be present with, and then get discerning, right? Get like, let's really sit with this and look into why I'm feeling this way. Maybe I don't even know. Maybe I have some level of anxiety or a sensation of nausea in my tummy when I question that. And so then it's about, how willing am I to really sit with that and see what's possible to get more information. And again, these are all areas that I had to learn on my own, on my seeking path, right? To learn how to be present with myself and be willing to be real and authentic and, honest with myself. It was not a simple, like, just, I'm going to do it. There was many steps and many areas of learning and growth to do that. So if that's an area that's tricky for you, if you find yourself having a hard time being able to even, take those little blinders off just a tiny bit, and you think that might be getting in the way of you moving forward and really making the life you want or your business, like, this is what I love to do, ladies. So please know that I'm here, and I have some time still available this week to jump on a call, and I'm just straight up, this is what I do, this is how I help people, and if you're interested, reach out to me. You can go through my website, katedow.com. You can email me. I'll post the email in the comments. But this is what I love to do, is be of service and help women get real and create a life, a version of success, really, that really fits for you, that turns you on, excites you, satisfies you, nourishes you, prosperous, and fulfilling. I think it's possible. Let's check it out. Thank you all for joining me. I love seeing you all here. Please add a comment if you liked what was happening. Share it if you feel like it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.